Oh my god. That was so sweaty. Oh my god. Yeah, just coming off of the Canucks versus Blackhawks game, and my god. But you know what that means? I get to open up a pack. Jeez. So, Game 5, Canucks versus Blackhawks. Them being rivals to us from the 2008 to 2012-ish, where they basically kept knocking us out in the playoffs every first round. And in the infamous Burrows slaying of the Dragon Slayer, I meant to say. And of course, Bedard being on the Blackhawks team, he's like the all-star, maybe future Hall of Famer player, basically. But Chicago kinda sucks, not gonna lie. But enough of that, let's go right into the first period. So, Demko's not in net this time, it's Lankinen. On the Hawks team, they have a lot of players that we used to have on our team. I believe it's Dickinson, Mikheyev, and Spencer Knight. They all used to be on the Canucks. And of course, there's an infamous name, Tyler Bertuzzi. That is Todd Bertuzzi's nephew being on the team. I really wish we could have his nephew on our team, but I don't know if there'll be, start some controversy or something. Maybe there's some curse that we can't have him on our team, but we all know what happened. And so, early start in the first period, of course, we get a penalty. But then it doesn't even matter, and Chicago gets a penalty, so now it's 4-on-4 again. There's a lot of these games where it's just penalties after penalties and just, I don't know, 4-on-4 hockey, I guess. And on those 4-on-4, nothing happened. This whole game could be summed up pretty boring until the very end. And then there was just some scrum after the 4-on-4 that led to another 4-on-4, so another 4-on-4. And then it started not to be boring again, and Chicago had a crazy 3-on-1. Then there was a breakaway for the Hawks, and that led to a penalty for us. And then, of course, penalty being penalties, you're man down, and the Hawks were able to capitalize it, and they score right on the doorstep. And after that, it was just boring again to watch, just nothing really happening, or the same thing happening back and forth. Quinn Hughes, he looked angry out there, like he wanted to start something, he wanted to get the team going. Like I guess he's maybe the same thing like us, or same thing as me, where I noticed that the Canucks start very slow in the beginning, so he's trying to get the Canucks going. Then yeah, even when Hughes started to get things going, just nothing, just boring back and forth, and it just so happens that Chicago was able just to get a normal goal. So now it's already 2-0. They taking penalties 4-on-4. I don't know, it wasn't really fun to watch the first period. I got pretty bored. And I've noticed too that we were just trying too hard to enter the Hawks zone. It was like they're trying to get everyone in at the same time or something, but it kept flubbing the puck when they were trying to pass right at the blue line or something, but I don't know. Now, the second period, Blackhawks with a quick start again, and 3 minutes in, another penalty called. And I thought we were getting the power play, but apparently Myers got a penalty, and Myers right now having a penalty in every single game, I'm pretty sure. Then there was a chance for the old DPD, basically the third defenseman that has a Pettersson last name, went in the zone and he sniped it and went off the post, and that was the chance there for him. Then Bedard got all angry and basically got a penalty, and now it's 4-on-4 again. And it led to Canucks being in the zone, Quinn Hughes dancing around, and nothing out of that power play or 4-on-4. And then, what did you guess it? Another penalty. I feel like this game you could do the drinking game where you take a shot for every time I say penalty or when there was a penalty, because jeez. Then finally, the Canucks, they finally capitalize on the power play, and now it's 2-1. After that, not much happened for a couple minutes. There was a big save from Lankinen. Then some stuff started to happen. The Canucks were getting into the Hawk zone. There was a battle on the boards, and the puck just jumps out, and Hronik, all alone, but then passes it across the crease, and Sasson was there, and he banks it in, basically. And yeah, now the game's tied 2-2, and again, it was like Canucks were slow at the start, started to get things going. Second period rolls around, and they can tie it up and win this thing. Then after that, it was again the same old, just back and forth, nothing really happening. It could be some crazy chances here and there, but it was just me watching the game and just watching one side get to the zone, nothing happens, the other side gets to the other zone, nothing happens, and just again back and forth. Then period 3 rolls around, nothing happens for 5 minutes, same old back and forth, and it was in our zone, and Quinn Hughes had the puck. He took a high stick to I think it was to his ear. It was pretty scary there. And now Canucks on a power play, so another penalty, another shot. Nothing came out of that penalty either. And all of a sudden, just a flip of the switch. It was like 15 minutes left in the third or something, or 10 minutes left. Both sides started to get dangerous plays, like crazy giveaways, good chances like 2-on-2s, 3-on-2s, like all those type of things. So it started to get pretty hectic. And then yeah, it was like the last 5 minutes of the third period, and the Hawks were all over us in our zone, and the puck ended up on to Lenkonen on a save, but it was on a weird position for him, and Bertuzzi was right on the doorstep of the goalie, and he went to tap the goal in because it was sitting on Lenkonen's pad at the very tip. He shovels it in, saying that it's a goal, it's 3-2, but hang on a moment. There was a challenge on the play, or the refs saying no goal after that. The Hawks basically challenged for it to be not interference. After the fact, the refs did a review on it saying that it was no goal for goalie interference. So after a couple minutes, refs decide, yeah, it was no goal interference, and the Hawks are now on a delay a game, and we have the power play. So power play for the Canucks. There was some crazy chances. PD40 fanned on it with point blank. He was right there at the line, and he just fans on it. He could have ended the game right then and there, and nothing on that power play. And then the same stuff again, just crazy backs and forths. And then poor Bedard, he gets a penalty, take a shot again for me saying penalty, and again, Canucks on the power play again. There was many chances for us in their zone. We were basically in the Hawks zone that whole time, the whole last 2 minutes. This was literally like the last 2 minutes of the third. We're up a man, 5-4, game's tied, all or nothing. Our coach decides to call a timeout, get the plan going again. Then another whistle goes off, and then the Hawks do a timeout so that they can huddle up and try to defend these last 30 seconds, 20 seconds, or whatever it was. And the clock was winding down, and the third period ended. So this is the first time we'll be going into overtime for this season and for this channel. And to be honest, I literally didn't write anything for notes for the overtime. It was a crazy me on my seat, just trying to wanting for the Canucks to win and score. But in the overtime, the Canucks were very controlling. They were playing circle basically with the Hawks. Occasionally the Hawks would get it into our zone. Insane chances on both sides, but the Canucks were very controlled on the overtime, so it's nice to see that. Yeah, the clock was winding down, and at that point my armpits were sweaty. And overtime just ends. So then it leads to a shootout. And to be honest, with shootouts, I'm usually hyped up for shootouts because it's one player against the goalie. They can do whatever style they want to try to score. But it's so early in the season that I'm just eh. But both teams put in the good efforts. The star players tried to score goals, and it just led to Brock Besser getting just a casual snipe on the goalie, and Canucks win. And so yeah, that's game 5. Canucks didn't come out to play again in the first period, but you can kind of see that Hughes is trying to get the team going. The team kind of sees it, it already knows. PD is kind of 50-50 now. And then, yeah, second period, Canucks came out to play, tie it up as usual. Look, I'm hoping that's not really the theme, but if it stays the theme, it's not too bad, because that just means we play better when we're down. In third period was nerve-wracking, you know, swaying my armpits away. Same with overtime, and then shootout arrived, and I kind of just like, shootout. Then, you know, Brock Besser scores, and yeah. So now I will go and grab the pack, and we shall open it. Before I do, I forgot to say this in the last video, but just a casual Canuck here, saying goodbye, and I hope to see you in the next game. Wait, there's no way. What? Is that Ed Olczyk? Or Eddie Olczyk? No. We had Olczyk. Is it his brother? There's no way. Hold up. Gary Sutter. Or Sutter? Gary Sutter? Damn, I know these players. What the heck? That might be the same Olczyk that used to be on the Canucks team. Yeah, Ed Olczyk. I gotta double check. Oh, Ray Bork. Look at that. Very nice. Oh, play smart. Is that Martin St. Louis? I don't know why I thought this was Martin St. Louis. You can kill me on that. But this is play smart. And I guess it's one of those cards where he was talking about, you know, don't drink and drive. And yeah, don't drink and drive. Pretty smart. Yeah, play smart. Don't drink and drive. Yo, Chris Chelios. Hell yeah, that is one of my favorite defensemen, Chris Chelios. All-Star too. Oh, Peter Nedved. What? This pack is gnarly. God damn, yeah, Peter Nedved. Look at that. And that's it. Yeah, a pretty good pack. For me at least. You know, Peter Nedved, Chris Chelios, and you know, this dude's a captain. He's probably pretty popular. Who knows? And Ray Bork. It's very nice.